chat.
Welcome back to the Voices of Women Summit, where in honor of International Women's Day 2023, we are raising the voices of hundreds of women so that their message can be heard. Your host for this session is Catherine O'Leary, the Quiz Queen. She has another amazing guest coming right up. Take it away, Catherine.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Voices of Women Summit on International Women's Day. And I have the great privilege of introducing you to Dr. Catherine. Dr. Catherine has been a chiropractor for over 40 years, as well as a practitioner of concept therapy since the early 80s. She started when she was 2, obviously. She presently practices many healing modalities such as emotional code, the body code, ancestral clearing, nutrition response testing, thought field therapy, emotional freedom technique, and wow, I'm not even going to try to say that in her practice. I'll let her tell you what that is. Her passion lies in helping people change their lives by uncovering the truth of who they are to become their best selves. So, Dr. Catherine, welcome to the Voices of Women Summit. So I apologize. There was a word in there that I did not even attempt. So you can correct me now.
It's pronounced Ho'oponopono, self-identity through Ho'oponopono.
Ho'oponopono. So your resume is tremendous. Tell us what we're talking about today.
Well, today we're talking about emotions, a topic that we all know and love. We need emotions to exist, but they can get the best of us.
They can be that barrier. They can be that thing that you have to apologize for because you lose your mind. Not me. But they can definitely rule the roost, if you will. So you are talking about how to take back your life by releasing that emotional baggage. So tell me a little bit about more of that, Dr. Catherine.
Sure. Well, emotions have a vibration or a charge to them. And in our body, we have, we have our organs and our glands. And what we don't always know is that, for example, the liver releases anger. And so, and the heart and the small intestines relate to betrayal or love unreceived and those kinds of things. So when we're in situations where we have a traumatic event and those emotions rise up in us, they can get trapped in our body and disrupt the natural flow of our energy in our body and can cause down the road some diseases or disease in the body.
Oh, okay. So we might actually be physically trapping those emotions into different organs and different parts of our body, and if we don't release them, that's kind of the toxins or the toxic emotional baggage, if you will. Is that correct?
Correct. Mm-hmm.
Okay, perfect. So how do we release it? How do we get rid of the baggage? How do we dump that?
Well, the main methods that I use to identify emotions that are involved is through using muscle testing. And what I use when I do it, what I love about this particular platform is that on Zoom, I'm not limited to doing and working with a patient and client in my office. I have the world at my disposal because we can Zoom and we can clear. And I would clear it by doing a self-test on myself to basically, I put my own needs aside in order to find the truth and can make a connection with you energetically first. And then I ask yes or no questions to come up with a solution. So I don't know if you're willing, Catherine, but if I may connect with you for a moment.
I am totally, completely, 100%. Let's go. I got so much baggage to get rid of. Like 20 pounds of COVID. Let's go.
So I would ask the question, right now, if I say my name is Dr. Catherine, Catherine, it says yes, with my connection. And if I am Catherine O'Leary, it says no. So I'm going to put my needs aside. So my name is Catherine O'Leary. I'll say Catherine O. And I got a yes answer. My name is Catherine S. Me. And I got a no answer. Okay, so now I'm just going to try and identify just one way we can identify emotions is by just asking the question, does Catherine have an emotion that we need to identify? And the answer is yes. And I have a chart that's in physically and in my mind that I'm using when I say I have 2 columns and there's 30 emotions on there that we're picking from. And the subconscious mind will pick the one emotion that's the priority. So I want to make the greatest impact with someone. I'm going to ask the question, what do I need to release to make the greatest impact? And so in your case, I'm going to ask, is your first emotion we need to address for Catherine in column A? No. Is it in column B? No. Column B, it says no. Okay. Is it in column A? I made a wrong turn there. In column B, yes. So is it odd row or even? Is it even? Is it row 2, row 4, or row 6? It's row 6. And row 6, it's emotions related to the glands. And so is it a trapped emotion of overwhelm? Is it humiliation? So I'm getting a trapped emotion of humiliation. So now, if I may ask, are you at least 30 years old?
No, I'm 29 forever. It's
Okay,
the
so
metric system in Canada. So I'm 29. Yeah. But
would
yes,
you mind
yes, I
telling
am.
me your age, please?
I am over 30. Well, over 30.
Okay, so is this emotion current? No. Is it before the age of 30, before the age of 20, before the age of so it's before the age of 20, is before the age of 10? No. So is it between the age of 10 and 15? No, 15 and 20. So then I'm going to ask 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. So there's a trapped emotion trapped somewhere in your body at age 19 of humiliation. Did that ring a bell for you? It may not, it's, but humiliation is a pretty strong
So
emotion.
at 19, let me wow, I have to go way back into my way back time machine. So 19, I was leaving high school to go into university. I was dating an older boy at the time. Humiliation. Potentially, yeah.
Okay.
There's probably something around I was
We don't have to
there's
know.
probably something around my dad's business. Yeah, there might be something there. Yeah.
Okay, would you like to release that?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm going to use my hand over the governing vessel, which is one of the primary meridians in the body, overall meridian, with the intention to releasing the trapped emotion. So I release the trapped emotion from Catherine from age 19 of humiliation with love and with gratitude. That's a release for me when I yawn. So have we released the trapped emotion of humiliation from age 19 for Catherine? And we have. So now that you mentioned what you've mentioned, what I would do is I would no longer, the next step, work by just finding what emotions are next. I would say, okay, let's go to that incident, whatever you mentioned with your father's business. And now we will work around that at the situational. So a person could come to me and ask me to do a situational, like I had this experience and I'm not able to move past it. We can address it that way. I can do it by way of just doing as I started today, just ask, is there a trapped emotion trapped somewhere in your body? And then I can also do it where we, I'm pulling a blank for a moment here, let's see. Have a traumatic event that may have occurred, and additionally that we can go. And then also we can address pain. So someone has a pain in the elbow, or if someone has some other forms of diseases, we can address it that way to get rid of underlying baggage that can contribute energetically to what someone's experiencing physically. With definitely a physical aspect, we're not doing the direct physical work, we're doing energetic work, clearing baggage, clearing the way to allow the body to shine and for that energy flow to open up and be free. And
wow,
ultimately,
and I love how specific you get. Like, I mean, it gets right down to like the year and the thing, and like it's not just, in the last 20 years you've experienced humiliation. It's like, well, yeah, duh. Like of course, like who hasn't? But that's interesting. And I love that you can do it over Zoom. And connect with people on that. So So how do you work with people now? Are you working in group settings? Are you working one-on-one? Like how do people work with you now?
I usually do one-on-one right now.
Mhm.
I'm considering doing group sessions in the future, and also I'm creating some coursework around this.
Excellent. Okay. And so when people kind of release this energy, what do they typically feel? Like do they get
Okay,
tingly? Do they like, what should they be
that's a great
feeling? I'm
question.
feeling a little tingly.
Well, I would say 80% of the population feels nothing. They won't feel
Oh,
anything until, so say for example, we release some humiliation. Say it was a bullying situation when you were younger, and every time that person's name comes up or if something happened, all of a sudden you're right back to where you were. You're in third grade. In my case, I was in kindergarten. But and then maybe a month will go by, a couple of weeks even, and the same situation occurs again and nothing. So, wow, I didn't have the same reaction I had a month ago. That must have helped me, right? And the other 20% of the population will feel tingling, warmth. They will shiver. They might yawn on releasing. They'll feel something, and many times they'll get sleepy after a treatment because they get really relaxed and calm and that kind of thing.
okay, well, I can't get sleepy because we got work to do.
No,
So that's I
and
love that. And this is something that you help people work with. And I know that you have a free gift around meditation. So maybe you can talk a little bit about that because that's something that people can do on their own, I assume,
yes.
to
So
help
what I
them.
do is I work with patients and clients, and then I introduce them to this modality, which is actually works with the brain and helps to get more positive and more. You can work with healing aspects, you can success, your own feelings, emotional baggage, and so on. And it helps to back up what I do between sessions, which is really important. And it's a positive prime session, and it's a visual meditation is I zone out and I just kind of stare at the screen and just let my brain take in whatever it's going to take in. There's inspirational words, there's beautiful pictures. The biggest thing is the big smile, the Duchenne smile. Because even if you're not smiling and you might be depressed or upset, when you see pictures of others smiling, your brain's already smiling. And
Oh.
so that helps to shift yourself. So in the morning when I do a positive prime session, I'm priming my brain to have a day that's constructive, happy, and so on.
And for those that don't know, Positive Prime is an app, correct?
It's not an app yet. It's a website, and
Okay.
a movie. But the one thing that's different from some of the other modalities that are out there that show you these slides, there's about 1,000 or more slides in the deck, and every time you click play, there's a shift in the deck where it shuffles. So you
Ah,
never see the same order. Years ago with the 8 tracks and the tape decks and so on, when you listen to the music, you always knew what the next song was because you heard it so
yeah,
many times. It was like in your brain. Well, this will never happen because you won't see the same thing twice in that same
right.
order. So it's like your brain is seeing the information anew, and it's really amazing and so awesome. And
It
so I love
is.
it as a backup tool, for
Yes, and
myself.
I do have Positive Prime and I've used it before, and it does work wonders. And it is a nice um it's easy, like you can just put it on and kind of get into the mode, and
Right.
it doesn't require like complete silence, or I could put my headphones in, be on an airplane and do it if I wanted to. So it's fairly easy to do that. That's cool. Maybe you can tell us about one of your client breakthroughs, or a key client story that you can share with us that lights you up.
Hmm. Well, I have one patient had come in and he was really having total anxiety and escalating. It was like a 9 on a 0 to 10 scale, and he had a situation where he felt stress and trauma from thinking that an authority figure was going to do him harm in some way. And so we did a 20-minute session on him, and I didn't see any outward changes or signs or what have you. And then he also was a chiropractic patient, so we adjusted him. And when he was done, I asked him how his anxiety was. And he said to me, "What anxiety?" So the anxiety had gone down from a 9 to a 0, and I was in total awe of that process. And it's just really amazing. And then I had another experience with someone who had a heart wall as a result of losing a child early on in the pregnancy. And clearing, she had done all the work that she needed to do in therapy and such, but there was still underlying emotions, guilt and all kinds of things that came up that truly changed her persona, changed her, like a light, she lit up instead of having this like the darkness about her. The light just turned right back on, and it was really awesome to see. A heart wall, I didn't mention the description of that, is when there's a trapped emotion that the body, the subconscious mind will try and protect you from pain, and it gathers those trapped emotions and creates a wall around your heart, which in turn will keep you from feeling love or receiving love from a relationship standpoint, or having that interpersonal relationships, having difficulties with them. And I love getting rid of those. Mine, when I had it, was 5 miles thick. So, but my most was 150 miles thick so far.
150 miles. Oh my gosh.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay. Oh man, that's thicker than the wall around Derry.
Yeah.
Okay. So the key thing here is that I believe, and you tell me if I'm wrong, but the emotions, they can get trapped in you physically, and they can come through your, like, they can actually manifest as sickness and illness and so on. And you really do want to make sure that you are, clearing those toxins and clearing those, that baggage, as you say, the,
Right.
the heart wall, the, so that you can receive and you can be open and you can, be grateful for everything that's around. And you help with that. So thank you for that. Now the meditation is one thing that people can do on their own. What else can maybe people do? As maybe what's your favorite one daily habit that you have that you would love everyone to just kind of take on?
Well, I definitely do positive time sessions more than one time in a day. I also do some tapping, emotional freedom technique. And my favorite go-to is with that is, if you have an experience of stress and you're just in the moment, you just have to pick a point. And one of the points I pick here is like the thymus point here. I can do both sides here with the one hand over toe, and just tap, but while just experiencing what it is I'm experiencing at that moment. I don't have to think about it. I don't have to make any setup statements. I don't have to think about anything else. They're helpful to take it forward in some other way, but you just do some tapping. And also, really, my go-to is deep breathing, deep cleansing, slow stillness breaths, as slow as I can take them, to just settle myself down and just calm myself down. If at nighttime, for example, if I'm having a little trouble getting to sleep or that kind
I
of thing.
love that. Yeah.
But they're all quite beneficial.
And it is important to feel the feels, right? It's important to feel what you need to feel at the moment. But you get to control that. Is that fair?
Well, it's not really controlling it. When it is and it isn't. So if you're talking about feeling the field means that you're going through the process of feeling the emotion and handling it. So you're not going to trap that emotion. The emotions come in when you don't address it. You put it in the bucket and you close the lid, and you don't let it come out of the subconscious. But we tap into the subconscious mind, and it helps us reveal the things that you never dealt with. So that's really the difference between that. If you're feeling, you're not going to trap it, unless you're saying, "Oh, I can't deal with this now," and then you put it away. That happened to me when I was in chiropractic school, and I was dating someone. I got dumped. I didn't feel the feels. I went on with my business, and the next thing you know, I'm in the hospital with spinal meningitis. And I saw the fact that there was a connection, because that was my first. And I manifested that whole thing in my life because I didn't handle
Wow.
the emotions. So I made it a mission of mine not to let that happen to someone again. So searched for many, many years, and I finally found what I really think is the piece of the puzzle that's been missing.
That's awesome. And thank you for gifting it to us and for sharing it. One other quick question then that just came to mind for me. Are you finding generational like differences? Like, do you find that people from one generation tend to bottle it all up versus another generation? I'm just curious.
Yes, well, one of the you can inherit trapped emotions, you can inherit heart walls, you can inherit miasms, which are diseases from other generations, and usually you pass it down in a linear fashion. So you would pass it down to a child, the child could pass it down to their child. It's not you to brother and sister. So it's father, grandfather, great grandfather, and beyond. And that is huge. I had a patient who had inherited trapped emotion of hopelessness, and never felt hopeful until we released that, and it was like a fog was lifted.
Wow. So this can be actually like almost genetic, like it's kind of passing through into your DNA.
Yes, because when you inherit an emotion, it can it's there from the point of conception. So it's been with you your entire life. So every decision, every choice, everything you ever did in your entire life is driven by what's vibrating in your body, and it's all about vibrations anyway. So we need to clear that and help you live your best life so you can enjoy it and have fun, which is what we're meant to do, to live in joy.
Absolutely. So it may not be what you have physically, like you were talking about bullying in school or something. It may be something that is actually genetic, or something that, you just, in passing, or it got trapped, and it's time to just let that baggage go.
Yes. When you just mentioned that, I just thought of my mother, who passed away in 1999 with breast cancer. And she never really felt nurtured in her adult life. And the breasts represent nurturing, the first nurture we ever received. And I really, it really saddens me that I didn't have this tool back then, that, I helped her in the ways that I could help her, but this would have been awesome. And so there's, no matter what the condition is, it's not a cure, but you can take away any of the negative baggage associated with it, and give anyone a fighting chance by having that energy cleared, and so it's not holding them back to receive the medicinal effects of, say, if it's a cancer situation, of the treatment, right?
Right.
So you don't
put it up the 150-mile wall.
Yes, exactly.
Right. Okay. All right. See, I get it. I'm listening. I get it.
I'm Italian. Oh boy.
Oh man, if I have to go back to my Irish heritage, there's going to be a lot of stuff that's going to have to be unloaded. Let me tell you. So again, Dr. Catherine, can you just tell us what your free gift is today?
The free gift is a 30-day free trial to explore the Positive Prime site. And there's hundreds of sessions from Joel Vitale, and some of the people that are here today, Jackie Bailey.
Yep.
And you can personalize them. You can add your own pictures when you personalize a session, and every time you see that personal picture, you light up, and it really makes a difference in how it affects you. So you can explore it full 30 days, no questions asked, no connections. You don't have to worry about that. But it's awesome. This coaching pro.
And again, I do have Positive Prime as well, so I do suggest that if you can take advantage of that, to do so. It will you will see a difference. Thank you, Dr. Catherine, for joining us today on the Voices of Women Summit, and on International Women's Day. Thank you for sharing your gifts. We appreciate you. I thank you for helping me release baggage from when I was 19. My head is all tingly, so I know it's working. Or my head's tingly for something else. I don't know. But thank you again. And up next is another great speaker. So hopefully you'll join us. And Troy, if you can take us out, that'd be awesome.
Thank you for joining us for another amazing session of the Voices of Women Summit, where our mission is to raise the voices of hundreds of women so their messages can be heard. For recordings of all sessions, plus an amazing VIP gift bundle, upgrade to VIP now. If you have any questions or problems during the summit, email our support team at support@voicesofwomensummit.com. Stay tuned. We have another fantastic speaker coming right up.